Hey guys, welcome to another Coffee with Max. Thanks for joining. Happy Saturday. So, I was going through a bunch of old sessions that I had on my computer and finding as many videos as I could and seeing what stuff I needed to archive, throw away on hard drives, and what stuff I thought I could repurpose and use for promotion or entertainment or something. And by the way, so much fun. If you're ever bored and have nothing to do on a Sunday, just go either into your archive drive very deep or go into your Google Photos, or just like revisiting old memories is so good and actually so helpful when you're a musician trying to understand where you came from. But anyway, that's not where I'm going. I found my old album that I put up. It's not that old, maybe 2 years ago, and all these songs that I remember working on, and I found videos from it. I found all these videos I hadn't seen, and it sparked some memories of working on that music and putting so much time into that album. And so just to give you some perspective, and you can go check it out. I'll link it in the bottom here, in the bottom, in the comments, in the description here. It's my solo album, and I took it on as a project to do all the instruments, all the mixing, all the arranging, all the recording basically. So I played everything on there except for the horns and the strings, and arranged all those horn and string parts and just spent so many hours working on it. I look back on it, and some of those songs I wrote 4 or 5 years ago, and they just didn't turn into the right type of song because of how much production went into it and how much time and effort. It's so easy to lose that initial spark when you've heard a song 5,000 times. So go check it out if you want. It's called Suspended Dreams. And yeah, it's just interesting looking at it. And it's what I wanted to talk about today, which is not to put so much effort into things creatively and save that effort for the next song or the next album or promotion or something. So yeah, I spent maybe a year and a half on this album straight. I had all these songs on piano, and I tried so many different adaptations. There's 3 songs that didn't even make it onto the album that I finished. I recorded all the drum parts, set up the mics for the drums, modified my studio space so that I could get the sound the way I wanted. Um, Practice bass, learned all these keys parts, had vocalists come in and record, went to Grusin Hall up at CU, and just like so much stuff. And it was all fun for the most part, but I wish, looking back on it now, that I had spent half the time I did on the production and half the time working on something new, just moving forward. Because I don't really, I do now, but for a really long time, listening to that album, I didn't like it. I didn't like listening to the songs. They just reminded me of sitting right here, mixing and trying to get it right and redoing the bass and just getting everything so perfect. And the fact of the matter is, it's not perfect. And looking back on it now, a couple years later, I see how many things I could have done differently. And it's a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes the best content that you can put out, the best music that you put out, um, needs the least amount of effort. I did a little video the other day, and this is so frustrating as a music producer. I literally set up my little camera as okay mic, um, just somewhere facing the drums. I played a drum beat with no intention in mind, and then I listened back to that and played a keys part, listened back to that and played a bass part. I never opened Pro Tools. I never set up any mics. The whole thing took me about 15 minutes, and I posted and people loved it. It was just like this little hip hop beat, and it's sometimes it's really annoying because you think that the more time and effort that you put into something, the better it's going to be, and it's so not true. It's so not true. I was talking to my buddy about it yesterday. It's, you can procrastinate on something because it's going to get better, and it will. There is a threshold for it getting better. Maybe who knows, maybe like 50% of it. But then after that, the more you work on it, the less you enjoy it and the worse the product gets. And it will never be this perfect product that you hear in your head just because it's impossible. So that's my 2 cents. That's today's Coffee with Max. Just if you're working on a project, get it done. Get it done. It's never going to be where you want it. That's just the honest truth. Get it done, put it out there, move on. And I'll leave you with my favorite quote, which is, art is never finished, only abandoned. Cheers.